Hello and welcome to... No. So after finishing off the vampires, we decided to let the fates decide. The fates decided we're going north to fight Driha and the Fecondites. But then I realized I have treaties with Driha. So we're just gonna keep going north and fight the Fecondites. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. We can simply take down Festus and then come back around to fight Driha and continue south. And the angry tree is here to ruin my life. Have I mentioned how I hate wood elves? Being left with no other choice, I decided to use the power of flying my entire army on my dragon's back, fly back to Nuln and deal with the situation. However, the situation does not get better. I recruited an emergency regiments of renown stack that included a Temple of Luminarch and a Hammer of the Witches in hopes of stopping the wood elves at Feldorf. I also sidetracked our master engineer and moved from Ostermark into the ruins of Kislev where we fought rats. A lot of rats. I decided to sell Vitavo to the Ice Queen in advance, just in case we couldn't hold it, as losing the army would not be so bad. It was merely a trash stack following Elspeth around. During the end turn we were attacked by a red stack. I felt like this wasn't going to be a very fun battle, and indeed it wasn't. After 3 attempts, I simply decided to give up. I cannot. Back at home, we managed to take back Wissenberg from a meager settlement garrison. The rats I attacked with the combined powers of the now injured army and a fresh one. Yet with all that, Feldorf was still under siege. And using all our powers, also known as the Temple of Luminarch, we did a lot of damage to Durtu and we almost brought him down, but he managed to get under a wall and away from the Temple of Luminarch. Then we sallied our infantry out, but they got kited a lot and died. And thus Durtu sacks Feldorf, and in the same turn marches to Fort Sol, attacks it with a different army, and takes over that instead. What the silly angry tree man is not aware of though is that he is marching inside of my attack range, so I go there to smite him. Hopefully permanently. Now prepare to witness the butchering of the wood elves. My justification: they hit me first. I realized I could make this special and I decided to kill Durtu with the power of my dragon's space laser. Good riddance. The rest of the wood elves stood absolutely no chance under fire of our magic bullets and purple suns and rockets. Never come back. Our demonstration against the wood elves was so potent that Avernan decided they want to confederate, which was a massive boost to our economic and military power as we completed about 3 to 4 provinces with one move. With the completion of Stirland, we discovered the last trickster cult of the Changeling and wiped out his faction. Our newly acquired stack of Marius Lightdwarf combined with the Master Engineer went on to Kislev. In the meantime, Elspeth went over to take Fort Sol and the rest of the western mountains. However, with a horde of angry Northerners coming towards our Stirland, we did not have much time to waste. We set up an ambush with a bait army in a nearby forest, hoping that Wulfric walks into us. And he's gonna do that. Ambush failed, I suppose. Realizing that if we're this close to him, he might have a very high chance of revealing us, I decided to move the ambush spot a bit further south. And what a beautiful catch that was. Suspecting nothing, he moves one of his armies to siege Woodbad and gets himself caught in the ambush. I decided to give him the honor of a proper fight, a choice I would soon come to regret. Cavalry on the flanks to attack the dogs straight away, guns in the back to shoot the mammoths as soon as the battle starts, and our infantry in the forest to flank. It would be a shame if I didn't notice a massive blob of doggos masking their count. Surprisingly enough, our missile infantry felled the doggos quite easily and our cavalry managed to get good flanks. Our infantry were unfortunately discovered as I did put them too close and they engaged the enemy. What ensued was a bloodbath where many Imperial men would die sacrificing themselves for their home instead of calmly auto-resolving the Norscans. The ranged units were undisturbed enough to the point where they could shoot Wulfric freely. Despite that, our initial army was pushed back and we had to relocate our Master Engineer towards the oncoming reinforcements, full of ranged units. Our Master Engineer bravely put himself into the charging line of the Angry Mammoth, and our ranged units simply shot him down. We also launched magical sky bombs on top of our own fighting army, hopefully injuring more enemies than allies. As Wulfric went down, the battle was finally won. Many sacrifices were made, but we gave Wulfric his desired fair fight. We then sold Grimhold to the Wood Elves because I couldn't keep up that war. We had to move Elspeth up north to contend with the Norscans. We freed Wordbad from the encircling Norscans as well. We fought some undead rebels, and though they outnumbered us, we used the power of ninja crossbows to shoot them in the back and eventually overwhelm them and win the battle. And with that, the southern part of the empire is now in safe hands. All our flanks are protected. Now all we have to do is head north. We gathered up all of our armies at Talabheim, switched up some units, and will soon proceed to march on the Norscans. Thank you all so much for watching, have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next one.